Just out here chilling with my boy. He leveled up. Was a possum yesterday, but did good in his video game and got some XP and got that armor. Now he's still trying to hunt for food, but he doesn't really take damage that much more with that good armor. I was really happy to see him. Part of me wasn't, because I was like, bro, if you're in the road and I hit you, it's gonna suck. Because from a long ways away, I could see him crossing the road. Just out here trying to take a few pictures and some video. So far, there aren't very many pictures or video of the cars online from actual people that own them, just mainly dealerships. Unfortunately, the things that I would love to show you that are different on the car, on the Trueno Edition, are very hard to see. Like the door where it says, let me go to the other side. Well, there's one little spot, everybody knows that, on the front lip. And then, let's see if you can see this. Barely. Right there, yeah, that angle. And then the badging on the back, obviously. And then it has different mats, trunk mat and floor mats, but I have my floor mats out, and I put some cheap seat covers on there, and I got groceries. But I have I ordered new, basically everything minus the seats and the door cards, because those are probably going to be expensive, but I want to get those too. But I ordered a set of mats and the shift knob, and everything for this vehicle is, oh, there's our guy, he went across the street. Everything for the vehicle is what's called VIN locked. I've never heard that name until I asked the dealer to look into order me the parts. He's like, well, you have to actually own the car to order those parts. And I'm like, yeah, here's my VIN. So the shift knob is kind of weird to have a spare, because I actually don't even like the factory when I took it off, because it's just so big you can't even really get your hand around it, because it has enough space for it to show jump, has enough space on it to have the indications of, you know, the shift pattern, and then to say Trueno on it. So it's kind of big. When you put your hand on it, it's kind of very large. So right now I have a, well, hold on, I'll go in there and I'll show you it. Lighting isn't ideal right now, so you might not even be able to see it. It's pink. There you go. The Yashio factory. Just because I had a few things when I used to be a Nissan 240 person from them. So I figured it would be amazing to carry over. So I bought that shift knob when I had my 2023 GR86. So far, everybody that comments on the other videos that I've done, they're asking, you know, how different it is, how it feels compared to the other one. I'm only at like less than like 400 miles, so it's not broke in, so not supposed to take it over 4,000 RPM. But I mean, I know there's no change in the engine or anything from the other ones. So the only thing different with this one, basically the Trueno Edition, comes with the performance package, which is the Brimbos and sacks. I think it's the dampeners, the struts, and not the actual springs. So it is a little bit lower. I noticed that because the same ramps that I used to change my oil on my last one, they actually won't fit underneath the front bumper. They kind of hit on the bumper, even though it's like monster truck status, but they hit on the front bumper, kind of right there at the very end, where you see where the that little itty bitty bolt or clip or something hangs down. They kind of hit right there, so I had to put a little piece of wood underneath there to get it to drive up on the tire, for the tire to go on first. And so based on that, I think the car is actually lower than the normal version. And then the brakes, still trying to brake in the engine, but still you can tell the brakes are going to be way better. The other ones, at one time stopping from like 60 miles an hour, you could just immediately tell that they were horrible, that they would overheat and you would get some immediate brake fade. But these, obviously those are going to be some long life pads that are in there for longevity and warranty, and also for brake dust. But you could probably put some more aggressive ones on there and they would work even better, but I'm not. This is my old man car. Drive around with AC and heated seats for my back. So yeah, really no difference in how it is, minus it stops better and it's a little bit lower from the other one. I had my my 2023, I got it in October or September, I can't remember, of 2022. Kept it for like 14 months, put 11,000 miles on it, and then when I realized they were going to make these, I sold it to Carvana to try to be able to get one of these. I really didn't think I would get one because they only made 860 for the US. And I asked the dealer, I asked my salesman, got the other car, to find me one, and he did. And then the thing is, everybody's asking why they didn't actually mark the placard. If you look at the plate, see it right there, it just says limited to 860 units produced. And the reason, I haven't read this online, but this is my what I just basically believe, the reason that it doesn't have it marked where this is number 67 out of that number, 860, is because I think that the only thing they do is they just build these, in Japan, and they ship them. So it'll come, because you can get this one in the white color or the red color with the Trueno Edition package on it. So I think they just basically build the car, it's white or it's red, and then when a customer wants it, they know that they have an allocation of somebody that wants one of those. They put the packages on it, at the port installed. So once it gets to the US, they put the little decal on the hood, change out the spoiler for the rear, do the side decals, and do the seats and the door cards, and then stick that little sticker on there. That's why I think they're not actually marked with the number, because they didn't really know how many they're going to make. They wanted to make a minimum of or a max of 860, but I don't know if they knew that they were going to actually sell that good. That's kind of the other reason why I don't like it, that it's hidden right there. That should be like by the, traditionally those are like by the shifter, when you have a badge that commemorates that it's like a limited edition or something. It's usually by the shifter. The other thing that's different that I haven't talked about, just performance wise, it's not really a performance thing, but this has so they were able to figure out with the manual transmission, because the automatics have had Subaru EyeSight since they've been around, the second generation of these cars, but now they figured out the Subaru EyeSight. So you can see that camera, there's one there and there's one over here. And what that does is the Subaru EyeSight package, which is amazing, but it doesn't have lane centering, and I'm old and I would love to have lane centering. So what it does is it has emergency braking. I think it has like something for the rear, but obviously it's not for the cameras, but rear cross traffic or something. I think that comes from the mirrors, because there's some kind of sensor in the mirrors or in the rear of the car. I don't know how that works. But the good thing is the cameras allow you to have smart cruise control. So this is a 6-speed manual transmission, and you can shift gears and it automatically goes back to having cruise control on, which is amazing. And people have asked in comments and videos that I've made, does it like rev match? Well, I would think traditionally, if you're in a situation where you need to rev match and you're downshifting, because you don't really rev match on an upshift, so you're rev matching on a downshift, you probably don't want cruise control on, because you're going to want to be able to be in full control of the car, not just having it where you're just lazily downshifting. So when I downshift, it's in traffic, and it's because I'm slowing down. So as I'm downshifting, since the brakes are already on because it can see a vehicle in front of me, I don't really give it any throttle because it doesn't need to be rev matched. Eventually I'll get some kind of like camera for my head and camera mount for my head or a hat or something, you know, so you can see what it does as you're driving, because I don't really want to drive and hold this thing. But it's amazing to have that kind of technology. It just sucks that it doesn't have like the lane keep, because I rented a 2019 Camry and drove it from Florida to Kansas, and it had, what is it, Toyota Safety Sense or something like that. And it is amazing. I mean, you literally, as long as you keep a few fingers on the steering wheel, it would like take, like, not like a 90-degree turns, but it would take like sweeping turns. It would drive on the roads. It was amazing. And I was like, man, I'm old. I would love to have something like this for my normal everyday vehicle. You know, like 20 years ago, I'd have been like, no, fuck that. I don't want no stupid cameras in my car, and I don't want this, and I don't want that. You know, same thing that you look around and you see all these old dudes on Harleys. They probably all rode street bikes, you know, crotch rockets, and then they get older, your wrist hurt, your back hurts, you get something that's better for you. Just, you know, the same way this is. You just like want to get something that is easy to drive, has some technology, some heated seats for your back, even though I'm in Florida and I'm always hot, but heated seats are amazing. That way you can let me see how I'm gonna do this. Heated seats are amazing if you got a messed up back. So there it is. If you're unfamiliar with this car, maybe I should have did it at the beginning. The little, hey, this is actually 100% Subaru. So see how it says Toyota and Subaru, and when you pop the door open and you look at the VIN, I don't know if I can get my camera, hold on. It doesn't want to do it because I'm on a gimbal. Anyway, right there, manufactured by Subaru Corporation. So even though this has a Toyota badge on it, this is 100% made by Subaru, and the Toyota version is the GR86 and the Subaru version is the BRZ. So they both have the Subaru Boxer, you know, engine, which is, I don't know, it depends on what you think. Horsepower is 228. It's a 2.4 liter, so horsepower is 228 and torque is, I think, 184, which is very, very, very low numbers. I don't even remember what red line is or where those numbers are made. But when you think that the car weighs like 2,800 pounds, it does pretty decent. The fenders are aluminum, the hood is aluminum, and that roof is aluminum. So they really went out of the way to shave some weight to make up for the lack of oomph from this thing. And it's funny because they're like, oh, you know, the reason we didn't do a turbo is because the engine would have to sit higher, but the engine can still sit where it is, and you have plenty of room where the factory airbox is and the factory resonator box. There's definitely, people have been turboing these things since they come out, you know, since the first gen came out in like 2012, and it fits up here really nice. So for them to say, hey, we're not going to put a turbo on it because it won't fit underneath the hood, it's going to raise the engine, going to raise the center of gravity, I think that's just a bullcrap excuse. From a longevity standpoint, yeah, you don't want a turbo because no matter what anybody thinks, it's something that goes bad. It wears out, goes bad, bearings and all kinds of crap, you know. So for longevity, yeah, maybe it's not the smart thing to have in, but for power, if you want to consider this is like supposed to be a performance car, it kind of might need a little bit more oomph to it. The torque on this thing is so low, but when you think of how much you know, other cars that are around this price range, they all do have way more way better figures. But you know, when I think of, you know, I have had and still have a 240 for 20 years, and that thing from the factory put out like 200 horsepower and like, I don't know, about 200 foot-pounds of torque. So I have the SR20 DET in mine. So just with like an intake and exhaust, boost controller, downpipe, all that stuff, you know, maybe get a little bit close to the 250. I don't know what that's going to equate at the wheels, but you know, that was fast. That was a fast car. It was good for driving, good for drifting. This is just my old man car, so I don't really care how fast it is. Off the line, it's horrible. Top speed, it's horrible. 0 to 60 is horrible. Quarter mile is horrible. But that's not what it's for. For me, I bought this just to drive around and to chill in. So the thing that I was thinking the whole time I realized I was going to get one of these was, you know, once I found out, because I didn't think I was going to be able to get one. Once I found out, I was already mad about how they look. I think that they really didn't do it justice, because if you look at, you know, what Toyota wanted to do was they wanted to make this like the AE86 from the 80s. So they had like a white one and a red one, and they made a gray one too. But the graphics on it are, on this car, are a throwback to that car, but it has a little Initial D flare in it, because the hood on those original cars from the 80s was completely the same color as the body. So for this to have black on the hood, that's a pure Initial D kind of reference. But what I don't like about it is how the graphics, they don't flow very good. They just end at the door. It's like the cheapest and easiest and laziest way for them to do it. It just looks horrible to me compared to what it should. It should be a full solid line on the bottom, about, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches. Then it should have a white space in between it, and then another black layer. And if you have seen the pictures, you know what I'm talking about. I'll try to throw a picture in at the end of the video. But it doesn't really mimic the original, which is kind of annoying. There's that fucking lizard. Get out of the car. Get out of the car, bro. Go. Oh my God. Yeah, I think that the hood should have been, if they're going to do the hood black, do the whole hood. And not only are you going to do the whole hood, but paint the hood. Don't put a decal. That's a vinyl decal. But they painted the little wing back here, spoiler, whatever you want to call it. So like, it doesn't match. That black is a gloss black, and then this is a subdued matte. Let me close the hood. Maybe you can see it. The lighting isn't really ideal right now. Yeah, it's a flat black. The only thing that they got going for it is, and I don't know if you can see it in this video, but it does follow this line that goes all the way on the bumper. So that's, I think, why they made it that way. The other thing that bothers me a whole lot is that they really could have brought that all the way down and not had a little white stripe there, because it goes white, we got black sill, white hood, and then the black decal. They should have done the whole hood, and they should have just figured out how to make it, you know, just painted it. But obviously, like with how the headlights are, maybe it would look weird if the whole hood was black. The other thing that makes me upset, and I get it, I get why they did it, and so this is what makes me upset. This should be 11. Traditionally, the 11 had lights that were always visible, that weren't pop-up, and then Trueno had pop-up headlights. So since pop-up headlights aren't a thing anymore because of pedestrian crash safety standards, this should be 11. They went with Trueno because that was the car in Initial D. So they really wanted to just stick with that name to have that kind of fan loyalty. But the other thing that kind of sucks is they have a Trueno blue. So the dark blue Toyota GR86 color you can get is called Trueno. So it's really weird that they named that color blue, that blue color, that name, when that's not like a car, you know, that was in, like, you know, Toyota never had a blue Trueno back in the day. I don't think they ever sold a blue one ever. So it's just kind of, you know, when you get thinking about just kind of weird things, you know. But overall, does it make me want to sell it because it's a Trueno, not 11? No. Did it make me not want to get it? No. Yeah, I still like it. It's amazing. Sounds decent. I'm keeping stock exhaust on it. Oh, I found a golf ball, which is amazing. Keeping stock exhaust on it. I put a axle back on my last one, had on there for like 3 months, and I was like, this is horrible. It's loud. I don't like it. It'd be good if you're first learning how to drive a stick, but other than that, there's no point to it really, because it's just annoying. Because I'm saying when you first learn to drive a stick, because it's super quiet inside of this thing. It has a fake engine noise, but for some reason this one doesn't make it. All right, this isn't going to be a cold start because it's already warm, but here's what it sounds like. Alright, my wife texted me, I had to respond to her on the other phone. So yeah, it's super quiet. You can't get any revs because you can't go over 4,000 RPM, so that might have to wait. I do have a cold start video on the channel in case you want to hear what it sounds like, which is super quiet. This is just the factory exhaust. There is a actual like TRD or maybe GR, I can't remember what name they went with, but there's a factory upgraded exhaust, but I didn't want that. It's too loud for me. I'm old. Typical Subaru truck noises. I say truck, but I meant to say tractor because this damn thing sounds like a tractor. A fucking lizard. Did you see him in the grill? So annoying. Alright, I'm gonna drive around and just have a good time. Oh, how many miles? We want to see how many miles are on this thing. Get some AC. All right, so yeah, there's what I was talking about. Yeah, 303 miles. So this is the cruise control. Once you turn it on, there's a little cruise button, and then you have, you know, that thing with a bunch of lines that shows up right there. And what that does is that uses the eyesight, and you can set it. So this is the follow distance, the pacing distance. So that's like far away, a little bit closer, and then bam. And then it has a whole lot of other things that they typically don't have. Let me see if we can get into the menu. It's hard because I can't really see the display because of where the actual sun is just blinding me. All right, so eyesight. So start alert, so it'll let you know if somebody in front of you starts and you're at a red light and they start and you're just sitting there like a weirdo. Acceleration level. So this is the levels of basically when it, you know, how your cruise control, how fast it accelerates. I think I keep it set on standard. And then this is if you're in a country that drives on the other side of the road, you can select that too. The other thing this has too is this little like shift light. Well, not really a light, it just beeps. And then see how the tachometer. Right now it's the RPM indicator set to buzz when it gets to 2500 RPM because I'm still breaking it in. So you can change that. Let me show you. So you can change that, and as you change that, you see the orange or yellow, whatever color that is, changes. And then just to show you, hey, you know, I need to shift, and just keep your mindset a little bit different. And you can have it make a buzz. You can have the indicator, which I don't know what the indicator. Oh, that just does that one. Okay. I don't even know what that is. Then in here you have all kinds of weird stuff. I don't think this video was, I wasn't supposed to be doing all this, but I'm gonna show you it. One touch lane changer. So right now if you hit the, see if you, the way this turn signal thing stock works is there's no detent. It just, no matter what, it just goes back to the center. So you can have it on one touch where you just hit it like that, it'll just flash a few times. Or you can fully turn on the turn signal, but you can use that one touch lane changer thing to make that go away. Oh yeah, we're supposed to be going over things that this can do that are interesting. Kind of got lost. I'm trying to find steering headlights. So the other thing this does is this has headlights that, yeah, there you go. So this is all like the driver assist thing. So lane departure warning. So if you get out of the lane, it will beep, and then a little icon down here on the bottom right will come up to let you know that you're not in your lane. Pedestrian something, I don't remember what that is. I don't remember what that one is either. Steering responsive headlights. So when you steer the car, the headlights move with it. That's awesome. Let me see if we go to the settings menu on the car, on the actual, take this tripod off. When you go on here, it'll have the info. You can actually like click on it and it'll show you. Let me see. Let's I was gonna say we'll turn around, but then the sun will be straight in too, so it won't, well, it's not gonna work no matter what. Let's see if we can get a good angle. There, how's that? So go over here to car, and then it'll tell you stuff. Okay, so pre-collision braking, lane departure, cruise control, acceleration, and all those things. And when you click on the info, it'll tell you. So pre-collision detects potential collision and warns the driver, applies brakes if no operation is performed to avoid a collision. So what happens is over here, right where it says driver assist, that when I'm driving, I always keep it on. Let me show you the mode. I always keep it on this, and on the cruise control display. And what will happen there is this little thing pops up and it says collision or something. I don't remember exactly what it says, but it'll pop up a little red warning saying that you're about to hit something. And so far I've had this since April Fool's Day, and it's what, the 14th, so for 2 weeks, and about 6 times in total that automatic collision detection system has kicked in, but it hasn't actually hit the brakes because I immediately do, because I want to be in control of it, even though I say I like all these nanny things, but I don't want it doing its own braking like that much, you know. But every time it's been, one time it was I was just too close to the car and it kicked on, but most of the time it's a car turning left or right in front of me, like not like an oncoming car turning into my lane, but a car that's in my lane in front of me turning. And it really, it's kind of frustrating because it's kind of like a false indication. It'll do it when I don't think it actually should do it. But I don't know, what can you do? It does what it wants. Okay, what else do we got? There's that one touch, the turn signal stock, so you can just hit it and it'll flash for at least 3 times. Okay, so there's what that means: blind spot detection and rear cross traffic alert, which I don't know how that works. I don't know where the sensor is. When you look at the automatic versions of this car, the back bumper has 4 physical cut into the bumper sensors that you can see that are ugly. So that one, I know how that one works, but this one, I don't know how it works. Steering responsive headlights. That's the left or the right side of the road. I wish it would have the info button for all of these things. Oh, that's for the backup camera. Always some weird stuff. Yeah, nothing crazy. Just what I always do, what I like is you can just turn this mofo off. Oh yeah, the other thing that I should have told you, damn, that's bright. So every other vehicle that has the Subaru EyeSight that I've seen, or anything that has a camera, has this gigantic kind of shroud, this black shroud that goes around here. And the camera is set into that, so you can tint the whole windshield and it's not gonna block the camera. But these, I don't know if you can even see it. Let me see, let me show it up in there. There, that camera, like, you know, you can, it's inside of the car. Yeah, sorry. Hold on, let me reset the camera, that camera. So yeah, the camera is inside of the car, and if I was to tint the front windshield, I asked 1,000,000 people and you get 1,000,000 different answers. But basically, I have a clear ceramic film on the front, and that's it. But the rest of it is really dark, obviously. So that sucks, because, you know, obviously, look at that Death Star right there, just baking me. But it's weird that the cameras are like that, because dirt and dust from the interior can get in there. So I find that kind of weird. Where'd our little possum friend go? Let's see if the lizard's chilling, hanging out too. Hopefully he left, because he's annoying and I don't want him being splattered by the fans and getting all over my engine bay, but whatever. You know what we're gonna do that might not be good for the longevity of my spare phone is record a little bit. Not that we're going to do a extreme flyby, because the speed limit and the braking period of the car isn't done, but let's see. What if I forget where you're at, Mr. Camera? trying to put my golf ball down. So I was trying to do a flyby at like 4,000 RPM so you can hear what it sounds like. And I was trying to get cruise control to come on so I could do that. And then I realized after 2 passes that my seatbelt isn't on. And because of that, cruise control doesn't work. So now the seatbelt's on, we're safe, we're gonna try it again. Alright, so that last time I drove by, obviously, I had my seatbelt on, so the cruise control worked, and that was like 43 miles an hour and about 3,700 RPMs, just for a little, hey, this is how it sounds at that speed. Not that it has a good camera, or I mean, good microphone. Oh, and the other thing I should tell you, just so people don't go crazy, because I probably am going to drive and hold the camera. So this is the old golf course on Tyndall Air Force Base in Florida. So the golf course has been reclaimed by Jurassic Park. I don't know what year the golf course shut down, 2010, 8, 9, I don't know. But this is the golf course. So there is like one little shop down here, down at the end of the road where people go, but typically there is like zero traffic. So about the safest driving around and holding a phone you can get. So we're gonna do it. I don't know how it's gonna work because I gotta turn around. Holding the camera, shifting, and working the steering wheel, but we'll figure it out. Let me get a picture right there of my other phone. All right, let's see if we can die. try to show you how some of this nanny technology works. Hold on, you might get a picture of a view of my crotch for a minute. Get the seatbelt on, so cruise control will work. Take this off because it makes an annoying noise. Nice big backup camera. Display on the screen. Nice big bright sun. Like I was telling you, it'll beep when I get to 2,500 RPMs to remind me to shift. It's cruise control. Set it at 40. See the lane departure thing kicked on. There's obviously not an obstacle that I'm willing to try to show you for the obstacle, the automatic emergency braking thing to come on, especially if I'm holding the camera, because I would ideally be holding the steering wheel with both hands. And then when I picked the car up, I drove behind my wife for a while with her Ridgeline, and I could not, no matter what I did, how close I got to her, because you don't want to get close to some random ass person, but no matter how close I got to her, it would not kick on the automatic emergency braking, which was weird. So I don't know what it takes for that to happen. Minus, like I'm telling you, like the, a few times that I had it happen when somebody was turning in front of me. And something is making a semi-annoying noise. Go in here and get a flat tire.
Please say a command.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. I hit the little button on the steering wheel. The voice button thing right there. Well, that's about as much of the technology I can show you driving with one hand holding the camera. And especially since there's no traffic, to show you how the cruise control works. Yeah, the lane departure, all it does is beep at you. It's annoying. Like, it literally has everything that it needs to have lane steering. It has electronic steering, so that it's not, the power steering isn't ran off of a hydraulic fluid and a pump. It's ran through electric motors, so it can steer itself. And it does have cameras that can see things. So for it to be in a situation where I bought a brand new car, I think sticker price on these is like $35,000. Total out the door I spent was like $40,000 and some change. Brand new car that has enough technology but just does not have lane centering is kind of frustrating. I would really love to have it. And there's some downsides to it, like right now, watch the lane departure. It's gonna have a hard time. It's not gonna kick on because you see the road has no lines in it right there. And now we have lines, but they're horrible and they're shadows. So it's not gonna kick on. Obviously we're not trying to the right to see what it does because it might kick on there, but by the time it kicks on, my tire might be into the dirt. So it has all the technology and things available to have lane centering. It just doesn't have it, and I find that annoying. That beep and that little indicator was letting me know that cruise control is shut off because I was going pretty slow, and I just wanted to coast, so I put the, you know, had the clutch pushed in, or I was in neutral. Hold on, there's people walking around. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, it has all the capability to have lane centering and just doesn't have it. It's kind of frustrating. And yep. Oh yeah, like I was saying, it does have red interior door cards, and then the other thing that the Trueno Edition gets you is a red stitching on the shift boot and on the parking brake. And then it has the Trueno seats, but I have these really cheap seat covers on there because I wanted to have protection on it until I can see about getting nicer seat covers and or getting a spare set of seats, which is probably going to be expensive. All right, let me throw some pictures in the end of this video, so hang in here for a second. So I finally found a good lighting situation where you can actually see the decal on the door. And no, it's not from this side. Actually, it's pretty decent there. But let me show you on this side how easy it is. Which, please don't film me now. There. It's pretty decent. And then I just stopped off to take a few pictures here because the background of shipping containers is kind of interesting. Probably gonna get a flat tire. Wonder if our little friend is still in there. Old Lizardo. I can't see him. Doesn't mean he's not in there though. This might be better lighting to see. Yeah, better. This is better lighting to see the flat black graphics of the hood versus the mirrors. The mirrors are usually body colored, and the door handle is usually body colored, and then the spoiler duck bill, say that just to make everybody mad, is usually body colored, but obviously on the Trueno it's not. But yeah, if you can imagine that being painted and the side being painted instead of a graphic, it'd probably look a whole lot better. I don't know. Do I want it to be shiny? Maybe, I don't know. I just know that I don't want to have to try to take care of this graphic for the next 30 years. It's gonna peel, it's gonna fade, it's gonna look like crap. So basically what I'm gonna do is, as soon as it does that, I'm gonna have the hood painted, and unfortunately I'll actually paint it the matte color too, just because that's what it came from the factory, so that's what we're gonna stick with. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are just like stick-on little decals that go right on the factory normal bumper. Obviously the one back here on the trunk is, because it's a metal trunk and then a plastic little decal. Oh, the other thing I didn't show you was the startup graphics thing. It's supposed to look like the Boxer engine. Oh, and if you hold, has these two, hold on, let me. Traction control and then track mode and then heated seat strap. So if you hit the, I don't know why, but for some reason I actually think it was different than my other one. But we can hold this down. Here, look. When you hold this down, it goes into the track mode thing. And also you can use the little thing over here, and there's a lap timer and a G meter and all kinds of weird things. But I thought that my other one, my 2023, I thought that when you held this down, you could get the traction control, and I swear another light came on over there, that one. And then, so this is with me pushing just holding down the track, whatever that means, off, holding down this button, and then that goes on there. So I would assume that's traction control. And then you hold down the other button, it goes to that. But I don't know what that is, what that little off thing. And I'm almost positive on my other one you could hold both of those or do something in there to get somehow both of those lights would come on, but I can't get it to work for some reason. I need to read the manual or something. And I also thought that my other one would display more temperature things. So here's average miles per gallon, tire pressure. Yeah, that's oil temp. It's like 190, a little bit over 190, maybe 190, I don't know. And then water temp is not displayed in degrees, and I want to say it used to be. Maybe I'm just going crazy. I don't know. Before long, this video is going to be an hour long with no burnouts. Who wants to watch an hour-long video with no burnouts? I know the younger me wouldn't. Oh, and I don't like where this cruise control button is, because it's literally like right next to my leg, which, I mean, obviously my leg isn't really up there touching the steering wheel and touching the cruise control, but it has hit it once or twice, just kind of chilling on a longer drive, you know, it hits it. But that's a traditional kind of, which is weird, this is a Subaru, but a lot of the Toyota cruise control is down there. I had a 2006 Corolla and it was down there. It's literally the exact same thing. So I don't know if that's just a Toyota thing or if Subaru does theirs like that too, but obviously this is 100% Subaru. Minus what I forgot to tell you when we were talking about the engine. The only thing that the Toyota has done to this is there are differences in the suspension a little bit, and the knuckles and the material that they're made out of. One's cast iron, one's aluminum. I don't know which one's which. And then one of them has the sway bars are different between this one and the BRZ. And then the engine is direct fuel injection, so like there's an injector that squirts it directly into the cylinder versus into the intake manifold. But the Toyota version of what they added to it was additional injectors that are, you know, regular intake plenum injectors that actually help clean the valves, because the intake valves get really dirty with direct injection, I guess. So that's why when you look at the engine cover, it says Toyota and Subaru on it. The D4S, whatever that stands for. Direct injection something, Subaru, I don't know.